Welcome back to Hey Kentucky. Now, Frankfort is about to get into session and once again debate a number of different issues. We're going to give you a few so that you know what are the bills that are being debated right now. Ricky and I'll start. We'll go with House Bill 251. This would abolish the death penalty in Kentucky and give criminals on death row life in prison without the possibility of parole. So they could never get out, but no death penalty. Are you for it or against it?
I'm for it. I'm against the death penalty. And ironically, I became against the death penalty after witnessing how they killed Timothy McVeigh. The death penalty disturbs me.
What was it about it?
I mean, just seeing the injection, there was something a bit inhumane about it for me.
I have worked on a death penalty case as a lawyer.
Yeah.
It changed the way I looked at everything.
Yeah.
To me, the problem with the death penalty is it can never be done fairly. It's random. Some people get it, some people don't. I don't think they should. I'm with you.
Yeah.
We should be beyond that, although we're not.
I mean, there are all kind of other things, but it's the human side for me.
Now, House Bill 202 sets a 2-term limit for mayors of consolidated local governments and allows the government to fill the seat if the mayor dies. Now, there's only one consolidated local government in the state. That's Louisville, because it's a city-county government. So basically, it puts a term limit on the city of Louisville mayors. What do you think of that?
It's problematic. It targets Louisville. I am against it, okay? It is targeting Greg Fisher. And it is again trying to center more power in the state executive, which is problematic.
I'm for term limits across the board. But I will say, if you're going to do term limits, I don't think you can just do them in Louisville. Like, you have to do them everywhere. Like, I do think it is targeting if you put it just in Louisville and not the rest of the state. So I would say I'm either for it for every mayor or no mayors, but not just Louisville.
But the reality is, again, out the gate, they're targeting Louisville.
Yeah, they usually
so
do.
You're seeing the Republicans in the state legislature, and you're seeing the governor targeting Louisville repeatedly.
Yes, true. House Bill 235, filed by Pope Dan Johnson from Bullitt County, would ban sanctuary cities for immigrants in Kentucky, even though there aren't any sanctuary cities in Kentucky. What are your thoughts?
I'm against the bill, and I'm against Dan Johnson. Dan Johnson is a racist. This is the same guy who posted pictures of Barack and Michelle Obama as apes and all of this stuff before the election, and then he was still elected by the people of Bullitt County, which is shameful.
And he dresses as a pope even though he's not a pope.
Well, he's supposedly a bishop, so he is a man of God. He is a racist. He is a politician. He is unworthy to hold office, and I'm against this bill, not just because of him, but because it's wrong.
I really think you should tell us what you really think about
well,
this.
hey, man.
I think you hold a lot back.
Hey,
I agree
people
with you
lollygag too much.
He's ridiculous. Senate Bill 123 requires medical professionals to report people who have overdosed on opioids to Kentucky's Department of Vehicle Regulation. And then they must prove their opioid use is under control before they get another license. I'm actually against this, and I know that seems weird because I think it's going to lead to people being less likely to get treatment, which is an issue that I think that happens. The problem we have in this state with opioid addiction is insane, and I actually think this might make it worse.
Well, I'm against it too. And look at the last part of it. How do you prove that you have your use under control?
Hard to prove it negative.
That leaves a whole lot of stuff open.
Very hard to prove it negative. That's
ridiculous.
Exactly right.
I'm against that.
They're going to change that part, I think, no matter what.
Yeah.
Now, Senate Bill 22 puts a no duty to retreat on the books. Now, here's what that means. If you're being attacked and you do not have to retreat, but you can only use deadly force as a last-ditch resort. Kentucky's current law does not require someone to retreat before using deadly force. It actually, in some ways, makes it a little bit less easy for people to use deadly force. This is actually, so I'm for this, actually.
I mean, I'm slightly for it, but I think it's somewhat unnecessary because I think a lot of this stuff is subjective in the wake of these types of killings. So I don't know exactly why it's needed. But anything that makes it harder to kill someone, unless they really are threatening you, because every time these variations on the Castle Doctrine or whatnot come up, I start to think about Trayvon Martin, and I wonder exactly how they're going to be used.
All right, Senate Bill 152, this is amazing to me, only in Kentucky. It would trim the classes lawmakers have to take on ethics from 3 hours to only 30 minutes, and it makes them have to take no sexual harassment training. Now, here's what's hilarious about this. Frankfort has just gotten past a sexual harassment scandal in Frankfurt where people were accused, legislators, of sexual harassment, and now they want to take all treatment away, all training away, and take their ethics rules down by 78%. Insane, right?
Look, man, a lot of arguments that we have. I mean, we're friends off this. Our politics are very similar, even though people may not know it. A lot of people think issues are Democrat or Republican. They're not all Democrat or Republican. This is ridiculous. And for me, again, speaking very frankly, these are people who want to change ethics requirements because they're unethical.
Bottom line, they want to have no ethics requirements.
Your
Your elected officials would have no
it
ethics.
stinks to high heaven.